Everybody who's ever owned a pet thinks theirs makes the perfect picture, and they're willing to spend hours to make sure they look it, getting that hair perfectly teased, that ponytail combed just right. The latest concern in the close bond between man and animal is the look of their teeth. Open wide, Bowser. Like most dogs, Lady goes to the vet once a year for her annual shots and yearly checkup. But at the Banks Animal Clinic in Toronto, she'll get that and something more. Dr. Mel Tonkin also includes dentistry in his veterinary practice. How far does doggy dentistry go?
All the way. We're putting braces on, straightening jaw lines, fixing malocclusions.
Isn't this a little excessive?
That's not really for me to say whether it's excessive. What I can provide for the dog and for the client is a healthy mouth. A healthy mouth leads to a happier, healthier pet.
This is my dog, Stanley. We've been together for 12 years. I know everyone thinks their pooch is perfect, but Stanley really is terrific. She's obedient, she doesn't bite the postman, and she's crazy about me. I return her affection, I take her to the vet every year, and occasionally I throw her a dog biscuit to keep her teeth clean. It looks exactly like the dentist's office you hated to go to as a kid, the dentist and his assistant leaning closely over your mouth. This time, the kid is a dachshund called Heidi who's getting her teeth cleaned. Vets tell us that 90% of all animals have periodontal disease or bad gums. When Heidi comes out of the anesthetic, her plaque will be gone, her pearlies polished, her teeth brushed, and her owner a lot lighter in the wallet.
This is serious stuff, not particularly, not only because of the teeth, but it leads to other health problems. They've shown that a lot of heart problems, for instance, is caused by the bacteria being excreted into the bloodstream from the gums. Possibly kidney failure can result from the same thing. So clean, healthy teeth and healthy gums is quite important, I think, in pet care.
What kind of money are we talking here?
It can vary from $200 to $2,000.
$2,000? For what could I get for $2,000?
A complete set of false teeth, which some veterinarians are doing. It depends. It depends, as it would in humans, as to actually what's involved, what needs to be fixed, the age of the pet.
Excuse me, doggies wear dentures?
Yes, there are dentures now being produced for dogs.
Yeah, the mind reels. What do? Put them in a glass overnight? How do you keep them in? How do you...
Well, if they fit properly, they usually stay in. You might need a little polydent.
Polydent?
It makes eating a great deal easier. It really does. And of course, you know, dogs are bashful running around the neighborhood without teeth.
Well, I bet. No, dogs have pride. And they get very indignant when you put little coats and boots on them. So I would think that there'd be some psychological stress.
Dogs certainly feel embarrassment. And I imagine that having no teeth could be a source of embarrassment.
No kidding, especially if it's a Doberman.
Then you're in trouble. Doberman guard dogs need their teeth. The smoke, the wind machine, and the flying human are part of the special effects on this Vancouver movie set.
Bomber, sit. Bomber.
But the Doberman Bomber is the real thing. So are his caps. $800 worth of gold. Bomber belongs to Betty and John Thomas, who own the special effects studio in Vancouver.
Well, we get two different reactions, and the first one ultimately is, oh, funny, a dog with gold teeth. Everybody associates it with Goldfinger or the James Bond pictures. And the second thing that people all of a sudden realize is, oh, what a great idea, what a nice dog, and it's so fitting for Bomber to have gold teeth.
Well, I think anybody in our particular business is a half a bubble off plum anyway in the picture business, and it's just another one of that idiosyncratic Thomas ideas, so to speak.
Bomber, age 7, the older of the two Dobies, has a passion for playing catch. But balls to a Doberman are like chocolate to us. Bad for the teeth. If he had stuck to tennis balls, it might have been okay. But this dog played hardball. It was his love of racquetballs that got Bomber into trouble. He would while away the hours chewing racquetballs until finally he wore away his teeth. This Doberman dines on chicken backs and necks. Without those gold caps, the only thing he'd be able to eat would be chicken soup. Add the root canal to the caps, and the Thomases say they've spent $1,700 on Bomber's teeth, about as much as they've spent on their own.
My first reaction was, of course, we want porcelain caps because it looks more natural. And my wife, we were in the midst of a job at the time, and my wife finally came to me one day and said, they've got to be gold because it's the only thing that lasts. And I went, oh no, we're going to have to deal with everybody saying, what a crazy idea. So we just went ahead and did it anyway because the dog is, well, he's the best friend. He's the friend of all the people in the shop, and he's well known in the neighborhood, and he's just, he's a big lovable boob.
For years, orthodontists have been straightening the teeth of their regular clients with braces. Today, veterinarians are doing the same for their canine customers. At first glance, this dog looks like any other Springer Spaniel bouncing along. Although you wouldn't know it to look at her, she's suffering from a serious malocclusion. So she's come to the Bow Hill Animal Clinic in Toronto, where Dr. Seymour Taube will correct that unsightly underbite. Her braces come from a human dental lab and are comparable to what any of us might have if we were getting our teeth straightened. But dogs get a bit of a break. She'll only have to wear her braces for 6 weeks. With humans, it would be about a year.
The two upper central teeth, the same as our two big teeth in the front here, were a little bit behind the two lower teeth. I don't think this was genetic. Both jaws were of equal length, or proper length, I should say. And it's just a case now of moving those two front teeth in front of the lower teeth.
The price for this cosmetic adjustment? About $500. But the attention you get is obviously worth it. Pebbles Wall, an English Cocker Spaniel in Vancouver, also needs orthodontic work. A lot of eyebrows get raised when the Wall family tell their friends that their dog has braces, and they've spent $500 fixing her teeth.
They're very surprised, and most of them kind of think we're crazy for doing something like that. They've never heard of it before.
It's not easy taking care of a dog with braces. Pebbles has had 3 sets. She knocked out the first 2, despite the plastic Elizabethan collar around her neck. It's supposed to keep her paws out of her mouth. Pebbles needed braces to correct crooked teeth that were penetrating into her gum. Anyone who's had braces knows they're a lot of trouble. Suzanne Wall spends an hour a day on Pebbles' oral hygiene. And then there's the problem of psychological adjustment. The Canby Animal Clinic in Vancouver, where Pebbles got her braces, is run by Dr. James Anthony, who is convinced that correct pet psychology will help those post-operative blues.
Better yet, having somebody with the animal when it wakes up and saying everything's all right, and just patting and reassuring the dog that everything's okay. And when he does try to actually pull out the appliance or shake his head to get the appliance out, just reprimand him, just gently saying no, and just say that everything is okay. And we haven't had a problem yet.
Well, I think she probably feels a little bit exasperated because...
Erin Wall understands how Pebbles feels.
I remember because when I got my braces, there was a lot of fuss and always worrying about what was going to happen to them and make sure that you have to do this and that. And so it was a lot of trouble, but I guess she feels used to them now because after a few weeks I felt used to them.
And how will Pebbles look after all of this?
Oh, even more beautiful than she is already.
Yeah.
Gervais Mercer had 2 of her menagerie of 5 dogs and cats with her when we met in Toronto. She has spent $400 on her animals' teeth.
Certainly as far as priorities are concerned, if I needed to go to the dentist and they needed to go and I could only afford one, then it would be them first.
Dogs have existed for centuries very well without going to doggy dentists.
Well, they probably died with bad teeth.
Once you've poured all that money into your dog's mouth, you can forget about entering it in a show like this. Here, judges expect to see the smile Fido was born with. But for most pet owners, winning a blue ribbon is not what makes their pet top dog.
Do you find sometimes they start seeing their animals as people, not animals?
I would go further than that. They see them as more important than people.
You ought to dress like